Mic check, mic check. Awesome. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Mic check, mic check. Awesome, awesome. Mic check, mic check. Awesome, awesome. Alrighty, I'll start in just a bit. Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining. Just waiting a bit and then we will get started. But as you can see right now, tracking the winter storm, we've got a lot going on. Luckily, nothing we can't handle. Alrighty, so currently we're getting reports of freezing rain in Chattanooga. This morning we also had reports of flurries in around the western North Carolina area. So I'll take a closer look so you can see. Right now, yeah, Chattanooga is getting that freezing rain. Could also be getting some sleet or some of that wintry mix, as you see there in purple. And of course, north of that, we've got snow, and this snow is on the way. Places like Nashville are starting to see the snow, and same for around Jackson and even Memphis, Tennessee. So taking a closer look at that current precipitation, places like southern Louisiana currently seeing that rainfall, but as we move northward into Louisiana, they're getting a bit of everything. We've got that freezing rain, chance for sleet, and also that snowfall that's passing by. So that's currently where a majority of the rainfall and showers are throughout this afternoon. And to everyone who's joining, good afternoon. Once again, taking a look closer to home, where you can see we do have some of that freezing rain that's currently around Chattanooga, Tennessee. So just west of us here in western North Carolina. There are a lot of warnings and winter alerts. This spans over 2,000 miles. That's just how much this storm is impacting the United States. Anything from a winter storm warning, watch, even that ice storm warning. That's what we're seeing here in western North Carolina and the upstate. And it's not too often that you do get this warning too. It also spans all the way down into Atlanta and near Charlotte as well. So we're going to dive deeper into that, and I will let you know what you can expect. This is, of course, the 12 p.m. hour. We're here at noon on January 24th, 2025, and we're tracking this winter storm, getting right into it. Here in western North Carolina and in the western Carolinas, the pattern pretty much goes snow, sleet, then freezing rain, and yes, then we get liquid rain. So starting off with that snow, low chance for any impacts. Some people have already been seeing these flurries, as I've said, Franklin, even into Robbinsville. But as we head toward the later hours today, that's when we start to get sleet. And sleet is the ice pellets that fall from the sky. They have a little extra time in the air, and that's how they become those pellets that bounce off the ground. We would rather see more sleet than we would freezing rain. So freezing rain has that higher impact. Glaze on the ground is what you can expect, because with freezing rain, you have a warm layer, and that cold layer is very shallow right near the surface. That's why the rain freezes on contact. A lot of people use a donut analogy where you get that sleet that's kind of like sprinkles. You can take them off, you can move them, but with freezing rain you can't, and that's going to be our big impact throughout the day today. Power and travel, high impacts because of it, and with that, some areas could be seeing a wider loss of power throughout the later hours of the day. So chance for some snowfall, as you see in blue. Sylva, Waynesville, Bryson City. This is in the afternoon around 2 p.m., just a little bit after lunchtime there. But as we look, you can see in purple, that's some of the sleet that will start to make its way throughout the area. Bryson City, you can see you've got some of that around 2 p.m. that's going to make your way. Everything is moving from the west to the east. Just for some extra information, around Burnsville and Newland, you could also expect some of the snow as well. Just very light flurries overall is what I'm currently seeing, and also a chance for some of that rainfall to become freezing rain where the temperatures are higher. Of course, when the temperatures are higher, that's where you get that regular rain, the liquid rain, that could be possible as well. So you still have some time to get prepared throughout the next few hours specifically, but as we really do head into the later afternoon and into the evening, the timing of the precipitation is going to become a bit more intense as we head to those overnight hours. One thing I do want to mention as we do get into areas with more freezing rain as well and ice, when you go down the slopes here in the mountains, as you know, having ice on the roads can be detrimental, so make sure that you are staying safe first and foremost. Newland, Burnsville, still a chance of some snow from our high-res models here in-house. And then we get that sleet. That sleet will be Burnsville, Marion, Morganton, some patchy areas of sleet around 6 p.m., so dinner time. And dinner time as well is when our southwestern mountains could also start to experience some more of that widespread freezing rain. That's when it becomes a problem. So make sure you are inside at this time if you are in those areas with freezing rain specifically. And we have a bit of a warm nose that's coming from the south. It's a bit of warmer air. That's why some areas could be seeing some of this liquid rain, but also others could be seeing freezing rain at the same time. As we get to about 8 p.m., look at that. It becomes more widespread. We get that chance for sleet, even making its way into the upstate. And more icing is possible, especially for our southwestern mountains there, heading into Hayesville and Andrews and even Robbinsville at those higher elevations too. That's where the ice sticks a bit more because the temperatures are cooler, especially as this precipitation makes its way into the area. 10 p.m., look at that. We've got that split divide of freezing rain and also sleet. And the National Weather Service has been saying one of the big things has been timing of freezing rain, because it really is just a switch in a few degrees or an atmospheric layer that leads to that freezing rain becoming more dominant within our area. By 12 a.m., widespread. Everyone is getting something. Whether it's regular liquid rain, freezing rain like in Waynesville and Franklin, and as you move further eastward, Marion, Rutherfordton, Tryon. Look at that, more sleet on the way. Once again, those are those ice pellets in purple, that's sleet. Taking a look overnight, it becomes dominantly freezing rain. Once again, you want to stay inside. You do not want to be out there when there is this ice on the ground. And temperatures are going to be able to sustain this. Look at that, Asheville 26 degrees as we get this cold air. Marshall 27, Burnsville 22, and still a bit more sleet there for Morganton and Rutherfordton. But as we head to about 4 a.m., look at that, Asheville, you've got some freezing rain on the way. Seeing some of that sleet still for Morganton and Marion, the models are really holding on to that. As we head into the southwestern mountains once again, we start to get some more of just liquid rainfall. So you may be able to experience less of the impacts overall, but we'll talk about that main focus for the day today. It's going to be that icing. 6 a.m., you wake up, you've got freezing rain all throughout the area. I would not go outside if I were you. Of course, I know some of you have to walk the dog. Just make it very brief when you're out there because look at that. It is going to be widespread. Then we start to get rounds of showers, and you'll see where the green is. That's the light rain, but the yellow is the moderate rain. And it's a lot easier to see where the heavier rain will be when you look at the green and yellow versus the freezing rain. Where those darker colors are on the pink, that's when the freezing rain is heavier. As we go through the day, you got a chance for more freezing rain. This is why the icing could be so prominent throughout the area in Asheville and even Hendersonville toward Tryon. The Blue Ridge Escarpment is what's going to be getting a majority of this icing that we're expecting. And look at that, more rain on the way. But temperatures are going to warm up for around Robbinsville and Bryson City into the 40s. That's going to be nice. For some of us, still 20s are going to sit throughout the area. There's that moderate rainfall. And so this band is going to move from the west here in the mountains all the way to our easternmost portions of our viewing area, as you can see there. So just letting you know, because it's going to be a lot easier to see in the rainfall, liquid rainfall, versus the freezing rain that you see in pink. Moving eastward, by the time we get to about 3:30 p.m., look at that, Asheville finally making its way to just rainfall after seeing those prolonged hours of freezing rain. And this is what creates an ice storm, is the fact that you do have this freezing rain for extended periods of time. As we head toward Marion, 30 degrees, but also Asheville 30 degrees. So I would say there's a chance for some of this icing to still be possible, especially where those temperatures are below freezing. That's that rate of about 32 degrees. And look at that, Burnsville, Marshall, you start to get some of that light rainfall overall as we head to about dinner time. Still some light residual showers throughout your Sunday evening as well, but looking to become a lot calmer as we head to Monday. The problem with Monday could be a few straggler showers out there, and temperatures start to take a dip. Also could see a chance for some light snowfall in the early morning. Right there, Monday at midnight along the mountain, some of that northwest flow could give way to some of that upslope mountain or upslope snow. As we head into today and tomorrow, one big thing to talk about is the ice potential. I will say, compared to the models that we had running yesterday, some of the totals have actually gone down quite a bit, but the big message is still the same because we still do have that threshold of about a half an inch that is in the forecast, and that's really when the icing on the roads gets difficult. So for our southwestern region, places like Highlands and Cashers, that's where you have a half an inch, could lead to power outages. You know, even about a half an inch can lead to 500 extra pounds on a power line. That can down your power line, and also ice can make a tree branch 30 times heavier. Let's head into the central region toward Asheville. Asheville, half an inch on the dot. Fletcher will be around a half an inch as well. Lake Toxaway, 0.7. That is definitely the kind of weather you don't want to go out in the next few days, because we have a chance for these temperatures to be cooler for a bit longer. It could lead some of that ice to stay a little longer. And seeing that those totals are still forecast to be high as we move further south is something that I'm really eyeing throughout the next few days. Look at that for our central region as well. Mars Hill, not as much, but still could be a bit of a disruption throughout the weekend. Our northeastern region, still around a half an inch is what the current forecast is. I will say for a majority, once again, less than yesterday, but still we're at that benchmark 0.5, okay? And that's what matters. Now I will also say, look at this. For our legend, we have limited, destructive, and crippling impacts. This is basically a way to let you know what you can expect. So limited is kind of about a fourth an inch and less, then we got a fourth an inch to a half an inch, then we got above a half an inch, just to make sure that you are aware what you are seeing. As we head into Saturday and Sunday, once again, this is for the northern and southern upstate. Once again, a majority of the icing will be along the Blue Ridge Escarpment, and that leads some of that icing to be higher for the northern upstate there, around Pickens, almost a half inch there, still once again. And remember, this is considered a major ice storm when it does hit, and that's because those totals are expected to be at that half inch range. The reason we have an ice storm warning is because we have those forecast totals of above a fourth an inch. Southern upstate, look at that, much less, but still could be impactful for your day. Another one where you don't really want to go outside, because whether you may be great on the road, I promise there are people who are not as great on the road, especially with ice. So here's some winter storm preps, especially if you're still getting ready. Luckily, you do have a few hours out there. For your vehicle, get those jumper cables, a full gas tank just in case, and a shovel. You never know when you'll need it. Luckily, you can shovel sleet a bit easier. Freezing rain, not as much. And for your home, make sure to have an emergency kit. I think it's really important to have enough food and water. Non-perishables are what I've been talking about all morning. And for water, usually you want to get about 1 gallon per person. Medications, make sure that you do have those, but make sure that if they do need to be refrigerated, you have maybe a cooler or something that's able to keep it cooler just a bit longer. And don't forget your pets. Of course, we love our pets here in Western North Carolina. Anything that you can do to keep them safe, especially during the next few days. So that's pretty much all I've got for now. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope this gave you a little bit of insight on what you can expect throughout the coming days. Once again, this is something where you want to stay inside, especially I would say around the later half of this afternoon into Sunday and into Monday morning. Reason why is because we do have that ice storm warning in place, and you do not want to be out there on the ice, whether you're driving or maybe all the way across town. So I hope that you all are able to stay safe and stay informed. You can always stay informed with us here at News 13. And I'm seeing that some of you guys are asking questions or saying hi. That's awesome. I would love to answer anything that you may have. Hello from Marion. Hi, Joshua. Thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck and be safe to you too, Silent Rage. I know it's definitely ice storms you don't really see as often, do you? But yes, I would love to stay on and answer some questions if you have anything. Always happy to help. That's what I'm here for. Taking a closer look once more, I know people want to see where things are at the moment. You can see that current snowfall is around Nashville. Then we've also got some of that freezing rain and also a mix as well. Heading toward the mountains at this hour could cause some upslope snow. We'll continue to watch throughout the next few days. Very, very important. But Yes, if no one has any further questions, I hope I explained everything as much as I could so that you could have the best information to stay prepared. We have our team of meteorologists here who will be working around the clock, especially as we head into Sunday, to make sure that you are safe and informed. So you can, of course, watch our updates here on YouTube, especially if you will be impacted by power. I know that with this amount of ice, it could be very impactful in terms of how you get your news and how you get your information. What time will it be? Well, it depends on where you are. Hello from Cane River in Burnsville. Nothing here yet. Awesome. Oh yes, send pictures. If you want to send pictures. Alrighty, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. How's that, guys? Alrighty. I see my audio mixer is working again, so I hope that you all can hear me. But yes, would love to get you the best info. So, let's see. There we go. Awesome, awesome. Yay, awesome. Yeah, let me know if you guys are seeing anything right now, whether it be snowfall, whether it be rain, or even cloudy skies. I know that it's very calm before the storm, tends to happen a lot. So taking a closer look, we're going to start from the beginning. I know you all want to see. We start off with snow. That'll be around the afternoon. Then we get a chance for some of that snow around the northern mountains. I'm reading y'all's comments, seeing if I can get that mic better for you. There you go. Let me know if that's better. Nothing like live streaming. Awesome, awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Alrighty. So 4 p.m. you got a chance for some sleet, but if you are planning on getting out there, your last chance, especially if you're in around Hendersonville, try on, because then it becomes more widespread. I'm having fun explaining freezing rain to people. I know, it's so interesting, isn't it? And we'll talk about it in just a second for those who are just tuning in. For timing purposes, look at this around dinner time. That's when you get some of that sleet, Marion, Burnsville, Morganton as well. Those are those ice pellets. And also, freezing rain becomes dominant as we head into the nighttime hours, so you do want to be inside. Freezing rain, for those who don't know, is where you get a glaze of ice. You have a layer of warm air, then you get cold air, but it's only at the surface, so the water freezes on contact, and that's when the danger really sets in, is when we get these colder temperatures and also freezing rain. Look at that once again. Then we get more of this freezing rain throughout the night, and that's the biggest problem, is that the freezing rain continues, and that will help build the ice accumulation throughout the night. And by the time we reach 8 a.m., chance for some areas to have warmer temperatures, and then we get, of course, more freezing rain on the way for some others. Moderate rainfall expected 2 p.m., get a band of showers. This is what our models are showing right now. We'll continue to keep you updated. By the time we reach 3:30 p.m., seeing more of that rain on the way, but temperatures are still cool in Asheville, so could still be some of that freezing rain. As we head into 6 p.m. dinner time, still some showers. Should we leave our faucet dripping during this time? With the ice, I would say absolutely, and the reason why is because we're going to have cold temperatures. You have a chance for some of these temperatures to remain freezing for a long period of time, especially today. We're really only hitting 32 degrees in Asheville, much colder at higher elevations. And so, yes, I would say if you can drip a bit, that would definitely help, especially as the chance for ice becomes more prominent into the overnight hours from Saturday into Sunday. Once again, we get calmer as we head into 8 p.m. Sunday. We'll get those temperatures sitting in the 30s and some 40s, warm up there for the southwestern mountains. That's where you want to be. And then we get that chance for some snowfall along the mountainside for our northwest facing mountains into Monday. So yes, that is going to be the big thing, is the chance for ice no matter where you are. What time the storm starts? The storm starts depending on where you are. Specifically for here, we're expecting that storm to start around the afternoon, late afternoon hours is what I'm expecting. Ice potential for many will be in the chance to be in that destructive zone. That's about 1/4 of an inch to about 1/2 an inch. So you do not want to be outside during that time. You do not want to be driving during that time because you will be slipping and sliding. And also, you just want to make sure that you are staying safe. So during this time, make sure that you are staying safe and staying informed, especially with us here at News 13. Warm water or cold? It depends on whatever you got. Just make sure that it is dripping. Is Taylor, South Carolina going to get any regular rain? So the upstate is forecast to be in that freezing rain zone. That's the big problem. And we're going to continue to see that chance for some ice accumulation. So just make sure that you are staying prepared and that you have everything you need. But at least for South Carolina, you've got a little extra time on your hands. Any extra questions I can help y'all with? Anything that would be helpful for y'all? But yeah, luckily we have a few hours to prepare, especially if you haven't already. The icing will start tonight. Temps are not cold tomorrow. Gone before and hits the low 18. Yes. The temperatures it depends on where you are. For us here around Asheville, we stay in that extended colder zone longer. When you have the clouds up top as well, going to continue to keep us cold, especially as we do have that chance for rain. Is there a D-cell battery anywhere in WNC? Great question to ask. I know that's a great one. Safer in Silva than in Asheville. I would say yes. Let's go back to those icing totals actually. Yeah, Silva's gonna have a lot less icing. The thing about here in the mountains is the precipitation doesn't hit the same everywhere, because for some areas you do have, of course, head-on air moving through. Sometimes you don't. It really depends on how the winds hit the mountains. I would say, well, I personally believe that the best way to not be scared is to just be informed. Any more questions I would love to answer? There we go. I noticed my camera wasn't picking me up. Yeah, so no reason to be scared. I think that you will be okay. The best thing to do is just stay inside. That is the best way that you will be able to make sure that you are safe during this time. I see someone says it's supposed to be 40s. Yes, there is a chance for 40s. It really depends on where you are. That's the big thing about the mountains. Oh, there we go. Awesome. So yes, any other questions, I'm happy to help. I think it's really important. Why is the resolution so bad? We're working out of a webcam. It's the easiest way for us to go. Awesome, awesome. I'm getting some other questions about, of course, storm preps. I've been hearing it all morning. And really get those jumper cables, full gas tank, a shovel if you need it. But the big thing is going to be icing, and the best thing you can do is stay inside and stay informed with a chance for power outages. Of course, nothing to fret, just be prepared and you should be okay. What time is it going to start here in Asheville? It's going to start around the afternoon hours. We're looking at late afternoon into the evening is when you can expect some of that frozen precipitation. Of course, models will always change. It depends on where you are here in Western North Carolina. Yeah, absolutely. Being able to help you guys is really so great, and I'm so glad to be able to do it because if I can give you guys a little bit of safety, that feeling of safety, and a little bit of extra knowledge, that's what I'm here for. Yesterday was so warm, so that typically happens right before one of these big cold snaps. Is you get a really nice warm day, and then the next day it is just cold. I will say it was a great day yesterday. The wind has picked up. I love hearing you guys' reports like from on the ground. It's really cool for me to be able to hear straight from where you are. Alexander into the Leicester area, getting some of those winds. Yeah, that's going to continue throughout the day today. You could see some of that snowfall within those winds, but the snowfall that we've already seen that was in the mountain range, that actually brought on an onset to help keep some of our temperatures a little bit cooler there in the mountains. So that's why some of this sleet has already started and some of this snowfall has already started as we head toward about the Chattanooga area, making its way into Western North Carolina. Yes, make sure that you are taking your time to, of course, be safe. If you have any of those inside heaters, make sure that if you smell anything or whether you don't smell anything, check on your heating supplies. You do not want to put yourself in a bad situation. If you have animals outside, make sure to bring them in a shelter if possible. Anything that is enclosed, or you can even take some straw and make a bed out of it if it's an outdoor animal. Just make sure that they are sheltered in some way, have a roof over them, because we do have that chance for freezing rain. Is the storm going to be in history? You know, every once in a while we get an ice storm, and they are impactful for sure. This one, I think, has been one of the more impactful ones we've seen here in North Carolina. Something that's been brought up a lot is the ice storm of 2002, where a lot of power went out. Of course, North Carolina's been through it before, and we will get through it again. Yes, so there is a chance for the ice to melt. It really depends on where you are or if it's windy out there as well. That could help bring those wind chills down and keep the ice on the ground a bit longer. As we head up into the higher elevations, ice will stick. As we head throughout the day, just a little bit of time with that sunshine and maybe some temperatures above freezing could be enough to get some of that ice to move, but it won't be enough to get all of it to move. You need several hours to keep that ice from, of course, staying frozen. Yes, bring your animals inside. We love our animals here in Western North Carolina. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna wrap this up and we're going to have some more meteorologists on the way to be able to give you the latest information. Um, Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. We will keep you updated here at News 13. WLOS.com is where you can find us. And also you can send us your pictures if you do see anything. WLOS.com/chime in. And that way we can stay updated with everything you're seeing. Already seeing those reports of snowfall. It's been so cool. And now we just wait for the sleet and the freezing rain overnight. Just make sure that you are staying safe and staying prepared. I hope this gave you a sense of calm and that you were able to make it through this winter weather as well. And we will continue to keep you updated throughout the day today. So thank you so much for joining. It has been a pleasure to be able to serve you guys, and we'll continue to do so throughout the day. Have a wonderful day.